good morning. Welcome to my channel. What inspires you? Do you like printed patterns or PDF? Do you have any pets? These are just a few of the questions that I'm going to answer today for so many questions. A hashtag that was brought forth by JJ of the Camden Stitch and Laura from the Speckled Seamstress. I'll link their vlogs below. But we would love for that hashtag to go viral. I'm part of a sewing vloggers support group, so if you're a vlogger, feel free to search for that on Facebook and ask to join. Anyway, we would just love for that hashtag to for everyone to answer those questions. You can answer them in any form of social media, or you can even post them in the comments below. There are 40 questions, of which you should choose 10. Of course, you're welcome to answer them all, but just choose 10. That's all that we're asking. And yeah, so be part of the fun and answer the questions. And now on with my answers. So question number 1. What is your dream job? Well, I've actually had a couple dream jobs in my life. When I was in high school and I was in love with this wonderful man who is now my husband, but then a dream job was any job that would help him get through school so that we could get married sooner. So at that point I was in nursing school, so landing a nursing job for me was a dream job for then. So I did that for 18 years. I worked as an RN in various ICU settings and recovery room. And then I homeschooled my children, which was an even bigger dream job. I absolutely loved every minute of that, and I would not trade it for the world. My children grew to be amazing people, and they married amazing spouses. Then I ran a photography studio. My business was called Considering Lily's Photography. I did weddings and lifestyle portraits for 19 years until I had to retire from an injury. But I've had some wonderful dream jobs along the way. Now, I suppose creating a sewing vlog could be another dream job for me. So I've been very blessed in my life to do things I love to do. Planner or improviser? This is an interesting question for me because I will plan and then improvise. So I buy fabric thinking I'm going to do one thing, and then I get inspired by the fabric itself and go down a whole other rabbit trail with it. I do that all the time. So I plan, but the wind takes me wherever. Do you have any pet helpers? I do, actually. I have 2 amazing golden retrievers. They are just such a joy to have in my life. I have Minnie, who is 4 years old, English cream golden retriever, and she's just beautiful. She's every bit as beautiful personality as she is in this picture. And I have Irie, who's an American golden. She is 7 years old, I believe, 7, and she's just my soul dog. If you're a dog person, then you know what I mean by soul dog. She's just the dog that gets me. She knows when to come and sit at my feet. She knows when to lay her head on my lap. She's just an amazing, amazing dog. I love my dogs. I'm a dog person. They are, however, not allowed in my sewing room. They sit outside the door and watch me. But I'm always worried about pins and things, and I don't want them to get them in their paws or you know, if you know anything about golden retrievers, then you know that one of their biggest problems is they have a dietary indiscretion. They eat things they shouldn't. So I'm always afraid they're going to eat a pin or something like that. So sewing room, off limits for them, but they are just such a huge part of my life. So they don't help me much, but they'll lay there, just keep me company right outside the door. Let's see. What inspires you? I'll tell you, I think it's color. Color, shapes, movement. Since I was worked in photography for so long, I'm framing things in my mind all the time. Click in my mind, click, click. And so I kind of find myself doing the same thing, like spatial relationships, the golden proportion, that kind of thing. But color just inspires me so much. So usually, yeah, I'll eye a fabric that has just a great colors, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. So fabric and color, I say, would be the two things that inspire my sewing the most. Okay, next question. Proudest make or moment. Okay, so I have a lot of proud makes, moments in my making as far as sewing goes. But one stands out to me, and it was a very long time ago. But when I lived in Texas, we had a neighbor who at that time was a teenager, and I was just a young new mom. She was going to her prom and asked me to make her a dress that looked like Princess Diana's wedding dress. So we purchased glitter pink organza, and literally it was the same pattern as Princess Diana's wedding gown, and it was beautiful, and I've never been prouder of anything in my whole life. Somewhere I have a picture of that, and she's just such a beautiful person too, inside and out. Her name was also Natalie, and that is my daughter's name, so my daughter was clearly named after her. She's an absolute joy to be around, and I miss her very much. So yeah, if I can find that picture, I'll pop it in here, but it might be buried somewhere. What is your most disastrous make? Well, when I was in high school and I was dating my husband, I decided that I would sew for him. And at the time, safari jackets were really popular. I know that's crazy because that's a really long time ago, I know. I'm showing my age. But he had this pair of plaid pants. I know this is this is going back, and you're probably laughing at the fashion that I'm describing, but I made him a safari jacket to go with these pants, and it just was perfect. I just made it to a T, and then he put it on and he wouldn't wear it because I put the buttonholes on the wrong side. It was like a girl instead of like a guy. So yeah, that was disastrous because I wanted to impress my boyfriend, and instead I made him feel like a girl. So that wasn't cool. Let's see. What's the one piece of advice you would give yourself if you could go back to when you first started sewing? I think what I would tell myself is, 1, slow down. 2, 1/8 of an inch matters. I tend to do things with a high degree of fudge factor, and you can't do that sometimes. And I think over the years I've learned to know when you can and when you can't. But I would definitely go back and tell myself that 1/8 of an inch really matters. Because when you take side seams and you take 1/8 of an inch, accidentally when you're sewing the seam allowance, say you do 6/8 instead of 5/8 or whatever, that's a 1/2 inch. So it does matter. So I'd be more accurate if I had to do over again. Hang on, my questions disappeared here. Who taught you to sew? This is the last question. My mom, Dorothy. She taught me to sew. She was fearless. She was just fearless with the sewing machine. She and I took stretch and sew classes together when I was a teenager. We enjoyed that together. So yeah, my mom, and you've probably heard me talk about her more, and yeah, I miss her. So yeah, I believe that was 10. Oh, nope, there's a few more. Printed or PDF? I'm going to be a weird one and say PDF. The reason I say PDF is that I like backups. I guess it's the photographer in me. I like to have things backed up. With a printed pattern, if you lose a pattern piece, it's lost, and then you just have to buy it again. With a PDF, you can just print it out again. So I like that aspect of it. And I kind of enjoy putting them together. They're not that hard, and I'll put something on the TV and just line them up. They're not that difficult. And honestly, when I buy a multi-size pattern, I end up tracing, because I might want to use that pattern again for myself if I lose weight or gain weight, or I might want to use it for someone else. So I think PDF, because then you can print it out and just cut that size, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to have it for the next time. So I like PDF. I'm just going to do a bonus question here. Paris or New York? Well, I've never been to Paris, but I have to say I love New York. So I would just say to this question, all of the above, because Paris is on my bucket list. However, I love New York. I love Broadway. I love musicals. And I have never been to the garment district. So look out, because New York, one of these days, I'm coming for you. Anyway, so create your own answers to the questions, and you can use the hashtag so many questions. You can answer it on any social media format you like, or you can simply put the answers down below in the comments if you'd like as well, or create a video. Just make sure you tag it hashtag so many questions, and yeah, we can all get to know each other a lot better. So Friday begins Friday Sewing School. Just a reminder, so if you know anyone who knows absolutely nothing about sewing, wants to start at the very beginning, Friday is the day. Of course, they'll be up there forever and ever, so you can jump in at any time, but just to let you know, that starts Friday. And next Tuesday, I'll be back with some more inspiration, show and tell. I'm going to talk a little bit about what Me Made May is for me, and why I'm not wearing something I made every single day like most people do. That hashtag was actually created to just give yourself a sewing challenge. So I'll explain why it looks a little different for me when I come back next week on Tuesday. So have a wonderful week. I'll see you on Friday at Friday Sewing School. Have a great day. Happy sewing.